Good day and welcome to HVAC 350. This will be a short lecture on a schedule of values assignment, which I've made as a bonus assignment. It will not count against you in the class. If you do, it'll be extra credit points for the class itself. What I'd like to do is just talk about the schedule of values real quick. Again, a schedule of values, its purpose is to justify monetarily what we're trying to bill for on a project. It also it could resemble the actual schedule of the project. It doesn't have to, but really this is set up so by CSI specification section we have some type of labor and materials assigned to it. Now if we look at this sample one that I'm asking you to do, these items right here are all going to be subcontractors. If I were to come in and look at this project here, you can see that, for example, we have a hydronic heating subcontractor marked up at $27,522. So what I would want to do, if we look at the hydronic system here, it's 45% material, which would be 55% labor for that part of the project. So if I were to go ahead and put this in here, again, the total number for it is going to be where did I put that? $27,522. And when I put that number in there, I have to break out the labor and materials portion of it. So if I were to take 45% for the materials portion, it would end up being $12,384.90. And for the labor portion, it would be $15,137.10. And what that would do is, again, this is the marked up price that's going to be on our estimate. And what we want to do is just fill those numbers in as we go along. Now, one of the things in the lecture that I gave you on the schedule of values is we have to put in a mobilization fee. I would put in 5% of the contract amount. The contract amount from the Excel spreadsheet that I gave you was $958,188. So I would put 5% of that there. I don't believe there was a performance bond, so that would go to zero. There's project management and coordination that's in the project in one of the sheets. You want to put in, again, that would be a marked up price. So it would be the number that we might have in this sheet here. And if I were to find that, let's see, it might be right here. You can see project management numbers here. You can see the dollar amounts that they are. This here is a certain cost for it. When you look at the recap sheet, the project management is just part of this sheet here. And these are cost numbers off of those sheets for materials and labor. So what I would ask you to do is to go ahead as you do this, and when you use any of the sheets that are in here, and again, like this information here, I would go ahead and I would make sure you mark that up, whatever the overhead percentage is for the project, which I believe was 21%. So you'd want to put that on the line item that would be here for project management coordination. That would be labor, and your material part would be zero on that. Okay, so one thing that will help you out quite a bit as you're doing this is I would go ahead and I'm just going to put a number up here, and I'm just making this number up at $12,000. Again, I'm making that number up. So if that was $12,000 for that, one of the things I would do is I would pick a color here, color that. I would go back to the estimate, and I would find the project management and color those the same thing, just to help you to understand that you've got all these line items taken care of. Another one is a scissor lift. So we can see a scissor lift here. I could go ahead and give that a different color. We can see our scissor lift is going to be these two numbers right here. So it's going to be $11,933 plus $263. So that's going to be $12,000 and some change there. So what I would do is I would come back over to this again, and I would find the lifts, and that would be in this one here. That would end up being, put that in as material, and I'm just going to make a number of $12,203. I didn't add those up accurately, and I would make this the same color there, only because it would help you to make sure that you get all that done. When you're done with the schedule of values, you get rid of all the colors on it, but that's one way to make it so you can go ahead and kind of work through that relatively quickly. And this should go pretty quickly for you. When I look at the schedule again, keep in mind that first of all, the schedule of values is broken down by section, and I tried to break this down as easy as I can for you. For example, exhaust fans here. These items are exhaust fans here and here. And the rest of this is ductwork and duct accessories for the wall caps. So if I were to come in here, I would have material cost and labor cost. So this here, these items, and excuse me there, these items here would be for equipment and labor. So what you could do is, using the Excel software, you could totalize these numbers very quickly. And again, when you go to move these numbers, when you total just the fans themselves up, there will be a material cost and an adjusted labor there. And when you go into the Excel spreadsheet and go into exhaust fans, you would have materials and labor. Just make sure when you do this that you're going to add the 21% overhead and profit onto the numbers that you total up here. Now, one thing to remember, when we get all done, you're going to have some numbers left over. You should have a surplus of money. In other words, when I go and break all these down and put these in here, you'll have some extra money. This number should be less than the total of the project. And when that happens, and that's common to happen, we're going to take that monies that are left over, and we're just going to disperse them into some other areas of the bid itself, in the schedule of values. And I would break that down. The larger percentages of these, I would put some of that money in. So ductwork's going to be one of them. Some of the equipment might be a little bit a higher number, and you can move some of those monies into there. So you can get started on the assignment. This one should not take you very long to do. If you have any questions, please email me. I thank you and have a great day.